Uh, Indeed, to say those are the most valuable words, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time. Over the years, seeing and observing every teacher who blessed my life, one thing I was always sure about was I had no patience nor any discipline which takes to become a teacher. And I knew I would make a very bad teacher. But one thing I always knew was that, as ma'am told, a teacher is one who actually makes a difference in a student in his or her student's life, and that too for good. And I really wish I could be one. I always used to behold in wonder and in respect, most importantly, how each teacher could do what they actually do. And I admire each of them for what they are. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Having said that, let's move on to the interactive session. So for that, first I call upon Naomi S, who is an assistant professor at VIT School of Law, Chennai, and she is also doing PhD at the NG University. Welcome, Naomi, ma'am.
Welcome, Naomi. Please share your thoughts.
Good morning, ma'am. It's very happy to see you. Actually, you were my principal when I was pursuing my LLB in those days.
Okay, yes. Okay. You studied in Ernakulam?
No, ma'am. I am in Law College, Trivandrum Law College.
Oh, okay. You studied in Trivandrum.
Okay. Yes, 2016.
Oh,
I was
very
there
good,
in
very good.
Trivandrum Law
College. Congratulations.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So a very good morning to one and all present here, and it's a great honor and a privilege for me to be a part of this session, because once I was a student in a LJRF team, and now I'm sitting in the other side as a law professor, and I feel dignified for that. And thank you, Safi sir, and thank you all the other coordinators for inviting me for this venture. Actually speaking, when I was pursuing my LLM, I have no scope, and I was not even aware about the scope of a teaching, because my ambition was something different. So my professors, especially Safi sir, they forced me to choose teaching as a career. And for that, now I feel very proud, and now I am very happy because I can enjoy my life. When we compare with the other other profession related to law, we can see that a lawyer has to work 24/7. Okay, and for the when we take the case of a judiciary, they are the same process. That means 24/7. And if you want to go for an executive job, there you have to work for 8 to 9 hours. But when we come to teaching, literally speaking, you can work for 3 hours. To a maximum, you can work for 3 hours. The rest of the time, you can invest your time for your research work, your knowledge enhancement. Likewise, you can invest your time. So these are all the advantages you can feel, you can enjoy in teaching. So even to all these actually I am an infant in this teaching profession, because I have started my career 3 years back only. Anyway, but one can I say that always believe that if you are all teachers, because we are all students while we are teaching students. Okay, so if you are not paying attention to the knowledge seeking student in you, obviously the teacher in you will lose the sunshine. Okay, yes. That is very sure. So the most attracting part of this teaching, as I said, when compared with other, it is a time span. I mean, the time is very less, and we can invest our time for the research and other things. But even though all these advantages are there, my question is why the students are not. I mean, why the candidates who are choosing the law as, the teaching as a profession is very less, especially when it comes to Kerala. Okay, because I'm working in Chennai. Today morning I call Safi sir and I asked sir, what kind of interaction are you expecting from me? Then sir gave me a statement. Sir gave me an answer that is Naomi, teacher, there are law teachers who is earning 10,000, and there are law teachers who is earning 2 lakhs rupees. So it made me laugh, and at the same time I think a lot. So that is the basic problem, I think, because the salary is very less in Kerala when compared to the other states. Here, I don't think, as far as my knowledge, there is no other law college in Chennai is paying 10,000. Nowhere in Chennai is paying 10,000 as a salary, because here without net also they are ready to pay 45,000. But the thing is that they want more teachers, because the number of students are increasing day by day who wants to pursue LLB, but the teachers are very less. So my question to ma'am is that why this disparity? Because we are all using that same traditional method for teaching. We studied the same law, and we are teaching the same law also, because we are all under a center point, because Bar Council of India, they are making the rules and the regulation, everything under them only. So we are all working under them. So the workload there is a uniformity in workload, but why there is no uniformity when it comes to the work wages?
I'll tell you. I will tell you, Naomi, you have a very apt question. One thing I liked your approach is be a student always. A teacher, even after becoming a teacher, he or she should be willing to be a student always. That thirst to acquire knowledge should always be there. The humility, and the thirst to be a student. See, only then you can move forward. Only then you can be a teacher in front of the student. See, once you lose that thirst to acquire knowledge, you become redundant, and teaching skills before a student deteriorates. So be a student always and update yourself. Try to bring in new concepts, innovative methods, techniques, and while teaching. And the second thing is this thing about the salary. See, as I said, if you pay peanuts, you get only monkeys. So that thing, the higher education should realize. There should be a regulatory body to see that the teaching profession or the teachers, they are paid well. See, they are holding the reins of the future. They should be paid well. See, only if you are paid well, the cream will want to become teachers. See, if a lawyer can argue a case and get 1 lakh for a particular case in one day, he will definitely, and he need not get an LLM also. He need not get a doctorate degree. So why should he waste his time studying for LLM, PhD and getting only 10,000 rupees? So this is, and the authorities should wake up to this call and find out a suitable solution to see that the teachers are paid well. And only if they are paid well, the good qualified teachers we will get for the institutions. And especially in Kerala, the primary education is very good. I think I have told this in some other forum also. Kerala is literate and the primary education is very good. And they send their children to English medium schools, etc. But even a person getting a degree in MA literature is not able to speak good English. The communication skills are very poor. Personality development is very poor. And the higher education is a total failure. Why is this? Because there is a deterioration of quality teachers in the higher education. Go to engineering colleges. A BTech just pass out will be teaching in an engineering college and he will be paid only 10,000 rupees. And imagine the quality of an engineer passing out of that institution. So there is a dearth of good teachers in the higher education sector, and that is because of a lesser payment in these institutions. So LJRF can take up this the drawback which we see in Kerala getting good teachers in professional colleges. Even medical colleges, they say that they are not getting good quality teachers. Sometimes they ask teachers and professors from other institutions outside Kerala to teach the medical students. So that is something which even the higher education has agreed. That is why students from Kerala go to other states for higher education. It's a good question, Naomi. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Next.
Okay. Thank you, Naomi, ma'am. Next, I call upon Neetu M, Assistant Professor, MCT College of Legal Studies, Malappuram.
Okay, okay.
I guess it's like Neetu ma'am is like facing some problem. So let's not waste time. I'll call I call the next participant. That is Raniel Niada ma'am, who is the Chief Editor of LJRF Voice, and she is also an assistant professor working at GLC Kozhikode and doing her PhD at NLSIU Bangalore, National School
Okay.
Bangalore. So I invite you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Ananda. Hi, ma'am. It's so
Daniel,
glad to
good
meet you.
morning.
Good morning,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're a promising good teacher.
I hope so. I hope so. But I'm to be very honest, law teaching is not a profession that I always thought I'll go into. I think my communication is not in par with a good teacher. But then
Yeah.
my last 1.5 months experience at Govt.Law College Kozhikode is slowly boosting my confidence. So thankful to those students here.
Very good. Very
Um,
good.
yeah, ma'am. So as Naomi ma'am also said, I was also talking with my colleagues here in Govt.Law College Kozhikode. I was telling them, no matter if the students are learning or not, we are certainly learning subjects. So I'm actually having a good grip on subjects we are learning. So that's a very good plus point for a teaching career. I was listening to your speech. It was truly inspiring. You were talking about all those legal aids. As a young teacher myself, these are things that I can relate to. So those things were actually inspiring for me. They were motivating me to try out new methods, to techniques. You were talking about that environmental law classes where you adopted these techniques and all, right. So I was thinking maybe I should do it. One of the subject I teach here is taxation, principle of taxation. It's a dry subject, obviously, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring out real life examples so that they'll be related to it. They'll get more. So when I'm discussing about fees or cess, I'm trying to bring out the real life examples so that they'll have a crux on what is actually happening. But the one problem I think I'm not sure about other institutions, but especially under Calicut universities and all, due to COVID situation, the exam is delayed. So I'm currently teaching for 7th semester, 8th, and 10th semester. And all those students are right now writing exams for 2 semesters back. So the 7th semester students are preparing for the fourth semester exam, and the 8th semester students are preparing for the 6th semester exam and all. So all those problems also there.
Yeah, that is a bane of the Kerala education, and the exams not being conducted in time, and because of that, they are not able to see. Once the semester is over, that exam should be conducted, and when the next semester starts, they should be totally free.
Yes,
See,
ma'am.
then
Yes,
only
ma'am.
they will be able to study better.
Yeah, I can all. There is this problem when I'm teaching them. Some of them are interested. Some of them are asking me proactive questions and all. Others are like, "Why are we learning it now? Anyways, the exam is going to happen. Maybe a 6 months or 7 months down the lane after
Yes,
all these exams coming, right?" So
yes,
those are some problems. I think maybe we should discuss as a major problem in legal education.
yes, yes.
Probably something beyond something we should maybe tackle it a day-to-day basis. My question to you
Yeah,
is, as you know, I'm also a researcher. I know
yes,
you are also a researcher. So you have a vast experience in research field as well as teaching field.
Yes.
So how do you think your research experience aided in your teaching career? Especially now UGC is going to mandate a PhD degree for teachers. Do you
Yes.
think this is a important qualification for a lead teaching academician or academic, or how does it actually aid? I'm certainly looking forward to your words of wisdom on how research and teaching collaborates and how that would aid a career in teaching, not just as a qualification, but rather in the actual teaching experience in those classrooms. That is my first question. I have also one more question. Do you mind if I ask it together?
No. You can
Okay.
ask.
Okay, so this is something I have something different from my first question. So lastly, I came to a few days back. I came to know that a PSC is demanding that a 3-year practice should be there for us to appear before to write the PSC exam, Kerala PSC exam. So most
Can
of the
you tell
mention.
it on what is
So the
necessary?
Kerala, you need 3 years practice experience, bar
3 years.
practice experience.
Okay.
Yeah, for a
So,
Kerala PS to attend the Kerala PSC. When you have an
okay.
LLM, they'll have an exemption for the LLM period, and the rest period you'll have to have a practice experience.
Yes.
This is something I'm worried about personally. I'm sure some of my colleagues here and my friends here would have the same concern, because we have just stepped into our LLM life, then we have moved into a PhD. So there has never been a time where we have moved into a practice field. So I'm not sure how that's going to affect us, our eligibility in appearing for a Kerala PSC. Also, do you think a practical exposure in the field would help in making a good law teacher?
Yeah.
So that's my question.
Okay. Thank you. See, the
Sure, ma'am.
first question, PhD research. See, to me, I took my PhD very late in my life. In my experience, having a PhD while joining teaching is not going to enhance the teaching skills of a teacher. So there should be a passion, there should be knowledge. You should be a student. You should have that research quality in you always as a teacher. So whenever you are teaching a particular subject in law, either jurisprudence or a substantive law or a procedure law, you should have that research mentality about that particular topic you are going to take in that class. So you should do some research before taking that class. And for that, having a doctorate degree is not going to enhance your teaching skills. So that is for a promotion. So the higher education sector or the PSC or the UGC clubbing or making it necessary that a person should have a PhD in law or in any subject before teaching is not actually in the case of schools, a B.Ed is required because there are some innovative methods being taught in the B.Ed 1-year course, how to what do you call a mechanism to the students are smaller, and the teacher should have some training in the creative thing to be instilled in the students. But in the case of a higher education or a college student, for a teacher, a training is not required, and especially a PhD is not required to teach. Of course, LLM degree is more than, and the object of LLM itself is for teaching. And for that, PhD is not required. And that is my personal experience. And the second thing is, the PSC requirement. See, of course, if you practice as a lawyer, whenever you teach a civil procedure code, criminal procedure code, having an exposure in a lower court is good, because the theoretical, you are able to teach only the theoretical aspect, and the procedure code, if it is taught by a practicing lawyer, a person who had exposure to the lower courts, the magisterial courts and the municipal courts. See, he will be able to better and explain to him, or connecting that the substantive law with the procedure. So that will actually, see, that is very essential for a student to become a lawyer. See, that is where we are a failure now. The Bar Council is not imparting any skills to the students while they are students in law. And teachers, many of them don't have a proper practice in the court before they come to teaching. So that is actually playing havoc in the student life, because they are not able to connect the student with the industry or the skills which are necessary for a student to practice in law. I think the LLM period 2 years, and if you have wakalat signed in any office, that will be counted while writing the PSC test. That is the trend which have been going on for a long time. And since the medical students, they have around 1.5 years of compulsory internship after they finish their graduation, which is not there as far as a LLB degree student is concerned. If the final year of the LLB is totally dedicated to a practice with a senior lawyer, I think this the connection or the practice in law period need not be there for while teaching, taking up teaching as a profession. So that that 3-year practice will definitely help the teacher to draft the petition, teaching drafting, or how to go stand before a court and address the court. See, these are basic ethics which the teacher might be able to instill while he is a student. I think that is a good either connecting the profession with the theory. I think I have answered your question. Did you
Yes,
get it, Raniel?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I did get it. But one of my point would be, is that the disconnect between law in practice and law in theory is because of the structure of course.
Or another aspect which the Bar Council can make a change in the system is that even after joining as teaching, a teacher can practice or be a consultant.
Yeah, I think that is
He should
popular
be
in
in
other
industry.
countries.
Yeah, other countries, I think even in other states also, I think they are allowed, but not in Kerala. So
Okay.
some connection with the industry will do good for the teacher as well as for the teacher while teaching these concepts to the students. So the students will be able to think of himself as a lawyer while he passes out his LLB degree.
Yeah, ma'am. True, true. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
The different news reported in Hindu, which I consider it has a constitutional importance. And the second issue reported by this Hindu, which is I think is a constitutional